Hi everyone, my name is Peter Yang, and I'm going to be teaching you how to play Final Strike, a deck forging contest of wits over weapons, coming live soon on Gamefound, March 22nd. Basically, we're going to be walking through this tabletop simulator mod, and how you set up and play through a game of Final Strike. So this is to start things off and take a look at our wonderful smithy. This is going to be where you, a player, are taking place as a battlesmith in the arena of Final Strike, fighting monsters for the entertainment of the audience and for the judges. So as for you play a weapon, you see that number on the top left is going to be how much damage you deal to an enemy, and the enemy is going to show you how much health they have right here. So if I were to show you a standard minion, you see it has 7 blood. So when this enemy first comes out, you will put 7 health next to it. 7 health. And the player who deals the final strike, the killing blow on the enemy, will earn the reward listed on the bottom. In this case, of course, is 1 glory. And the player with the most glory at the end of the game will be the winner. With those straightforward rules out the way, let's go ahead and talk about setting up the smithy. You'll see that the basic bronze weapons are going to be always on the bottom row here, set in the 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you are experienced, you could go ahead and build your own market with these cards set here. So the base game will be coming with 2 full, what we call adventures. An adventure being, of course, a smithy plus a set of bosses. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and set up our tutorial market. We'll have 8 cards here. And that's going to basically fill our silver 1 slot. We will repeat this process, grabbing a card from each of these slots. I'm just going to grab some fun ones here. And again, this will be, whoa. Group? Yeah. Oh no, 1 too many. It's fine. This is just a tutorial here. Let's go ahead, search. I'm going to grab the Dragon Fang. Fantastic. 1 more. Bam. And let's go ahead, search 1 more. Let's grab the Executioner's Axe. I'm just going to go ahead and set these up here. And in the real version of this, you would just either set up the adventure ahead of time or talk to your friends and see what kind of market they want to build together. And in the... Whoa, that's too many. I was going to delete that. We only need 4 of these gold weapons together. Pop. Fantastic. I actually... No, let's get the Ghost Blade. I like the Ghost Blade. Ghost Blade is a wonderful... no. Oh, no. Is that you? That's the guy's guy. No. Give me not that. Ghost Blade. That's what I'm talking about. There are 4 of those. Let's grab... What do we have here? I want the Pyro Staff. That is a fantastic starting weapon that let players know how to set up and steal kills. Because that, of course, is going to be... The premise of the game is dealing damage every turn and trying to help your ally in a 4-player game. So I said the player with the most glory wins, but in a 4-player game, your teams are going to actually be set up side by side or diagonal from each other. So it'd be Team 1, Team 2. We'll talk more about that later in the video. But as I am continuing to build the smithy, you'll see that we have a nice plethora of cards here. So we have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 bronze weapons, silver, and then gold weapons. So we have a full smithy built out now. The next stage you'll do is set up bosses. So you see we have Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 bosses in this area. These are going to be their associated minions for those bosses too. So when you first get the game, we recommend, of course, just keeping them kind of set together in their Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 areas. But then I'm going to go ahead and just grab this boss here, the Phantom Lancer. This is actually... Oh, 1 second. You're a little more complicated. Let's grab the Pillager. The Pillager comes in only with 25 health. Nice and easy. But right when they come in, they are going to build out 2 brutes. So let's go ahead and collect some health here. Pop, 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 pop. 5, and then... Whoa, 1 second. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 5. 25 health. Fantastic. Now, we are grabbing him, so let's go ahead and grab our brutes. Brute 1, Brute 2. And you see that this is, of course, just a tutorial level. So we have simple brutes with no major effects on these cases here. So I would go ahead again and grab bop, 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 bop. And I'm going to go ahead and delete 2, 3. Oh, no. Fantastic. So we have our... Oh, I can math. 8 health here and 9 health here. Yes. So, of course, when a player uses a weapon, that's going to be how much damage they deal. So if I were to play a wonderful little short sword here, that would deal 2 damage. and I would choose an enemy, and I would take those 2 damage and collect them. Cool. So this is going to be how the gameplay works. On the beginning of your turn, sorry, let's just say you should have a hand side of 5 cards. Then I would play a weapon from my hand, which would be the short sword. I would have dealt the 2 damage there, and I would have collected those 2 damages. When I play a short sword from my hand, that means I get to activate its plate ability because I recently struck an enemy with it. Of course, that means I will allow me to discard a card. And in this case, let's just pretend I had discarded the short sword here. And so at the end of my turn, I would draw back up to a hand size of 5. So boom, go back to the path. 5 cards. Then the next player would get to go, and that's it. You actually only play 1 weapon a turn. And of course, in fact, you must play a weapon a turn, so you are never allowed to not play a weapon. You have to play a weapon of every turn if possible. So after all players have gone and come back to me, I would now want to play a magic hammer. So magic hammer is going to be a fantastic thing, where it's going to be the deck forging element of the game. So of course it says, when played, I will have to deal 1 damage to a monster. So I bought this little monster here. Boop. And then it says, played, forge another card in your field. Another card being any other card that I played in front of me, anything I discard, or which is basically dropping a weapon to the ground. Because of course, we want to simulate that this is a battle arena, and as you discard a weapon, you're just dropping it on the ground in front of you. That means I could now forge another card in my field, which means I'm going to destroy this old short sword here. And you'll see on the magic hammer, it has some arrows on it. Those arrows mean that I can gain a card in those directions. It means I can go up, to the right, or to the left. Which means in this particular case, I will probably want this flashing steel, because I already got some pikes, I already got some short swords. And the flashing steel has new abilities on it. So in this particular case, when I play this card, I'll be able to discard 2 cards. And when I shuffle it into my deck, I will be able to deal damage to a minion. Shuffling, of course, will happen when I don't have a deck and I need to draw. I will then shuffle my field, not my hand, into a new deck and then draw from there. So that's going to be how I shuffle. So like just for example, when this shuffles, I get to deal damage to a minion. These are going to be the minions, and this is a boss, clearly because he is bigger and is also noted on the back of it. So that's going to be the cycle of gameplay: is play a card, draw a card, forge up card, because better card equal good, of course, better card equal good, and then learn the smithy. The other half of the game is going to be the depth, I should say, is going to be where you learn all the different cards that have these many wonderful effects, and then of course outwitting your opponents with who have access to the exact same cards as well. Alright, so you learn the cycle of play, where you are playing 1 weapon a turn, and then of course when you need to draw and you don't have a deck, you shuffle your field into a new deck, and then that's going to be how you draw, build a new deck, and that's going to activate your shuffled effects, and it's going to let you draw your new powerful weapons, maybe. Right, so let's say we played cards, we fought monsters, and then they all died. And then we go ahead and got to the last boss here, and then you'll see that the boss, when the first act boss dies, you will gain 3 glory. In this case, I'm going to give it to the other player here, so they will go ahead and get 3 glory. 1, 2, 3. Those are going to be the little glory tokens on that side. So the act will end when the boss is dead. So when the boss dies, if there are minions here, they stay there. They just kind of sticking around the field and go to the next act. But at that point, for every 4 points of blood you have here, that will be equal to 1 glory. If I had other blood, all that other blood does get washed away. So because the audience would cheer, the door to Act 1 will close, and then the sprinklers will turn on, and they came here to see blood and gore. So that's why we have sprinklers. That's going to wash off the blood, convert it into glory, and anything else that you don't convert does get washed away. So no change left over. So after the act ends, you bring in the next act boss here. So you'll go ahead, ideally, you go ahead and predetermine which of the Act 2 and Act 3 bosses you'll be facing. So you'll go ahead and say that, oh, we are fighting the Necromancer now. Since we have defeated the boss, we will be spawning the Necromancer, and when it says at the start of the game, or start of the act, they will create a Martyr Soul. So I'll go into the deck here. Shuffle. Yes, search. Go ahead. Where's my Martyr Soul? Martyr Soul. Huzzah. And then I would give them some blood. So let's go ahead and put you here. And we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. Bop. Oh, come on. Bop. Bop. There we go. Put you back up here. And then the Martial has 10 health. And this is going to be where the depth of the game begins, where Act 2 says the Martial has guard. So whenever you attack, you must target a monster with guard if there is one. Basically, it's taunt. But you'll see that the reward in this case is going to be each other player gets 2 glory. And so now the game is afoot in the case where you must play a weapon every turn, and you must always attack the guard in this particular case. And if you are the one who deal a Final Strike, each other player will get 2 glory. And that's where the game of Final Strike starts to shine, is that, oh yes, the tutorial level was just some basic pillagers and brutes. But of course, there are also ghouls and other minions and monsters to face in the game of Final Strike. And that's going to be the basics. As you go ahead and proceed to the end of Act 3, once you defeat the final Act 3 boss, the game immediately ends. The player will get the 7 glory that they are so deserving of. And then the player and or team with the most glory will be the winner. And that's the basics. Appreciate you guys so much for stopping by, watching through this video and the playthrough little tutorial here. If you have any questions, feel free to join our Discord. And of course, we also have kind of a looking for a group, looking for a play session within our Discord as well. So if you have any questions, reach out to me or Lane, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys when we go live March 22nd. Thank you.